So I thought that this moment was important to look back on and do the constellation of demands. It's when the teacher said, he mentioned the length, or it's also called like the height of a thing. And I thought that this seemed relevant. Some of the demands I considered was that the teacher wanted to use a vocab word. He really emphasized the word height and how it was the same as the length. Another thing that I thought of was that deaf kids don't have as much access to like the spoken vocabulary words. So if it's not fingerspelled to them, they don't have it. They don't get to hear it over and over again. The accidental learning, they just don't have that, and that words need to be fingerspelled as often as possible, so they have access to the spelling the way that hearing kids do, um, just by virtue of hearing the word. And I came up with a few controls for this. One was just to skip it because height is a synonym for length, and so you don't need to include both of them. Another would be to just fingerspell length and then fingerspell height for the same index on the list that I used as a way to show, like he said, both words. And a third option I came up with was to fingerspell both words and make sure that height was connected to length and that they mean the same thing. It's just another word for the same thing. And I chose the last one to really prioritize that vocabulary word, which is related to us talking about how deaf kids don't have as much incidental learning as hearing children do. And so it seemed prudent to me to really focus on that vocabulary word to try to give them as much like extra time with it as possible, so that they could have, not, it won't ever be like that equal amount of time that hearing children have, but just to give them more time than they would otherwise.